G'day folks, and welcome to these opening moves of Operation Theseus, Gazala 1942 by VUCA Simulations. This is the big one. This is Scenario 3, the Gazala battles. It is a full 8-turn scenario covering, well, the entire map. Full setup now is done. Got a lot of these Germans down here, 21st Panzer, 15th Panzer, 90th Light, I think they're called, plus the Ariete Division. A scattering of Italians along here. We're ready to go. There are restrictions on a lot of these units. So you've got these no activation markers on quite a few scattered around the map. We have our formation chart over to the left here, set up at their starting points and ready to go. What else do we have? Look, everything's ready to go. I've got my charts along the bottom here. I'm not going to do a complete playthrough of this. I won't be doing live playthroughs, but I did want to capture the opening moves to give you a sense of how this plays through on this larger scale. The reason being it's very difficult to follow things along throughout the full game. It's a monster game. Yes, it's only one mapper, but there's a lot of detail that you can't quite capture on camera. So strength points will be hidden below these units. You won't be able to see that. I'll try to explain things as I go, but you probably, on video, you may miss a lot of the details. And I mean, I could have a closer camera and kind of shift things around, but I would probably be moving things around a lot and you'd miss the bigger picture. So I'll go through a couple of opening turns, give you a sense of what this is like to play, convey, I guess, an understanding of gameplay. And yeah, then I'll be playing through a lot of it off camera. I might return from time to time, do some reports, highlight sort of gameplay moments like that, but won't be capturing the full gameplay in full because it'll be hours and hours and hours of gameplay. So we start with the operations phase on turn 1. The turn track is up here, and there's no admin phase on turn 1. It's skipped on the first turn. The operations phase then, if I'm understanding correctly, begins with an initiative determination. Both players roll 1 die, and I'm going to say that red is Allied, black is German for all of these rolls going forward. There is a zero DRM modifier on this first turn, and here we go. The Germans have initiative. I believe that means we flip this over to the British side. The winning player is the initiative player, the other player is the reaction player. Blah, blah, blah. Flip the marker to the new reaction player's side, place it on the +2 marker. So what can the Germans do here? They can pass, in which case they are done for the entire ops phase. They definitely don't want to do that. They can transfer the initiative. The marker would stay where it is, but they'd see what the British do. They don't want to do that. Instead, what they want to do is act. They're going to conduct a formation activation. Now, you may notice I've got my Schwerpunkt marker down here, and I've got my Italians set up and ready to go with this attack on Bir Hakeim. Now, I've just been practicing this in the scenario 1, so I'm ready to do this. I'm going to follow through with what I've seen. So, I'm going to activate the Ariete Division here. Here's their HQ. We are going to make an activation roll for them. They have an activation level of 6, and for consistency, I'll roll black dice. Oh, 1. So a 6-1 is only going to be 1 activation. That's terrible. They slide down 1. So what am I going to do here? Okay, I'm going to activate this stack for movement. All right, and they're going to go 1, 2 into there. Now, I'm not playing against a static defender anymore. So we could see a reaction. We could see reaction. There is a no activation marker on the free French there. And I don't know if that means no reaction either. Now, I would think it does, because basically if you succeed in reaction, you then get a formation activation. It's a reduced activation. I don't want it anyway. I was just curious about that. So we're spending our 1 action point just to move that. That was really disappointing start to by the Italians there, rolling to sat 1. Well, that was a very quick first operations cycle. So now we return to initiative determination. Both players again roll the dice, but now the British get a +2. All right, a 0 and a 4, so the British get initiative, and the Germans will get a +2 on their next roll. I believe, if I understand correctly, it's only ever on 0 at the start of the operations phase. So, Commonwealth forces with their formation activation. And what are they going to do? I'm thinking... What am I thinking? I am thinking... am I allowed to activate the 7th Armoured out here? I believe there's no restrictions on them activating. I'm looking around. Yep. Did I say 7th? 7th Armoured Division? Yeah. So I might activate them and get them to move up in support of Bir Hakeim. Is that what I want to do? Try and hit here? Or is that risky? Do I want to hold them back? Look, let's try that and see what happens. All right, so we're activating the 7th. Oh, they only have 4 activations as well. What else have I got? I've got the South Africans over there. They're under no activation. There's so many decisions. I mean, there's formations everywhere. You can pick any of these. Would be great. Let's go with these guys. So they have an activation level of 4. They roll a dice. It's an 8. A 4-8 is going to get them 5 action points. So look, I like the idea of tracking my action points here. I know there's an action point track here, but I'm going to track them right in front of me here, because this is where I'm going to be sitting. So we get 5 action points for this division. I think I'll start by bringing up some of these units in the rear. So along this trail, this leg unit is going to pay 1. So let's spend 1 action point to activate this for movement, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 action point. On my second action point, now I can activate this same unit again, right? Every action point is treated separately. So I spent 1 action point, move my unit, they're done. All right, again, I can activate them again. I know that command range is going to be critical. So what I'm thinking here is I've got my headquarters way back here. I'm going to spend an action point to activate them for movement. And they're going to try and move up across the desert. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. And that creates a good stack here. Now you can activate stacks for movement. So you know what, I probably should have left that formation there to make it cheaper in the future to activate that. So I'll do that, learning as I go. 3 APs remaining now. I will go 1 to do just that and activate this stack. They have to stay together, move together, cannot drop units off. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Infantry costs 1 per road hex. The heavies down here only have a movement of 3, but they pay half a movement point per trail hex, I should say. So it works out as the same movement. 2 APs remaining. What have I got over here? Two light tanks. Yep, okay, let's spend an action point to bring them up. They're going to have to cross this broken, which is going to cost them 2. So they've got 5. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with 1 action point remaining, I might bring these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Already I'm missing vassal because I immediately forgot where they came from. Okay, that's it for their activation. I should have moved them down immediately. I forgot about that. We'll need to keep that in mind. That's it now for that formation. So we get to another initiative determination. Now the Axis forces have a +2, which is going to help them to seize the initiative. We flip that over to the British side. And let's try and activate the Italians again. All right, now they get a 5, 1. It's ridiculous. It is 1 AP. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get this stack here. Actually, let's get the recon unit here, and they will try to use all their movement to enter the minefield here. To do that, we look at the enemy minefield check. It is a reconnaissance unit, and we have a -3 engineering rating from our headquarters. So I think we need 7 or less. A 0 is going to do it, so they can easily enter that minefield. That is our 1 AP for the poor Italians. This is a bad start, and yeah, we're done. All right, back to another initiative determination roll. The British have +2. That'll give them the initiative. So we're going back and forth. Geez, we'll have the 7th Armoured up and in their faces in no time. I do need to be careful though, because they've only got 3 activations left, and we don't want to be kind of caught out when the Germans arrive with their 7 activations. These guys have 7, activation level of 7. They've now only got 3. Okay, do I move up and at least... I'm just worried that if I move up and position myself around here, or even attack the Italians, I'll be opening myself up to a big German counterattack. The Germans have placed all their flak units. You can see these along here. They're very powerful. What else? Look, I'm thinking I might pass the initiative over to the Germans. That may sound weird. Oh, let's look around up here in the north as well. Got South Africans holding these defensive positions in the minefields. 50th Division holding their positions. Pretty weak in the south here. I notice, yeah, they're very weak down there. Difficult to know what to do. I mean, the British Commonwealth forces, they are on the defensive here. I could try and bring the 1st Armoured down. Look, I think I might pass. I'm going to pass the initiative to the Axis forces. Transfer the initiative. The plane must act or pass and may not transfer it back. It doesn't affect the dice roll modifier. So the Axis forces will again try to activate these Italians. They are now on 4. 4-6 is better. A 4-6 will give them 4 action points. And then they slide down. 4 action points. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Now, I have 3 AP remaining, which is enough for a full assault. Or, yeah, you know what? What is it? No activation until attacked by any Axis units. You know what? I really would like to get... I may not get a full 3 again. They're going to go down to, they're down to 3 now. And I need actually, that's not too hard. I need a 3 or more. What I'm going to do is try to bring these units into that minefield. So I'm going to spend 1 action point to try to move them into the minefield. I need to make a roll for, I'll make a roll for the reconnaissance unit and a roll for the tank on 2 dice. They're different rows of the minefield check, but they're both at -3. And they both pass. So they both are able now to enter this minefield. This is important because it's going to give me an extra modifier in support of this attack on Bir Hakeim. I now have 2 AP left. Not enough for a prepared attack. I could do a regular attack, but I won't get as many benefits. I really want to, when I hit Bir Hakeim, I want to hit it hard. So I'm thinking I might try and breach a minefield. With maybe, who do I breach it with? Or maybe I just go for an attack. Geez, it's a tough decision because if this roll goes bad, they could become disrupted. Now let's try it. Let's try and breach the minefield. It costs 2 action points to try to breach a minefield. Okay, 2 actions. That's expensive. I'll try with my tanks here. They're in command of these guys, so they get -3 to their roll, but they're in an enemy zone of control, which is a +1. So it's a net -2. If they had the Schwerpunkt marker, it'd be another -1. If they were Kampfgriff Hecker, there'd be another -1. So they don't have that, so it's a net -2. And unfortunately, it's a minefield and box, so I'm going to need a 3 or less on this roll to succeed. Yes! All right, we got our first minefield breached ever on our first attempt. So, pretty happy with that. Minefield breached on my first attempt. Done. That's going to make it a lot easier for future Axis forces to move around if I need to. We're done. That's the activation roll. We now go back to the initiative determination with the British. No, with the Germans still having a +2 because the British pass the initiative on over. So the British lose it. They go up to, Germans seize it. It flips over to the British now. And now we can activate this Ariete division again. They are on 3. They want a good roll. A 0 is a 10. All right, folks. A 0 is a 10. I've missed that. Die roll. I just noticed on the action point here. It goes from 1 to 10. So zeros must be 10. And I just flicked the rules and did find that. Okay, so 10 is much better. 3, 10 is gonna be 7 actions. All right, here we go. We're gonna try and break through, at least break down Bir Hakeim. So they're being attacked now, so I can remove their no act marker. That's done. All right, so we start by spending 1 action point for a hasty attack. The defender can retreat before combat, but they don't want to. We're going to try and really hold this with the Free French. So no retreat. Attack escalation. So now I go. Now it's a regular attack. Now it's a prepared attack. So full strength attack. Now I draw these combat chits. So I draw 1 for the defender, 1 for the attacker. And it applies to all defending forces and all attacking forces. So I know the French have got a efficiency rating of 7, so they're going to be tripled in defense. I believe most of my forces have a rating of 5. Certainly the attackers will. 5, 5, 5. So they are also going to be tripled in attack. What this means is I now have a strength of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, tripled to 45 on 8, 14, tripled to 34. So in this minefield, I now can get the CRT here and I can slide this along to minefield box 1, at least a minimum of 1-to-1 odds. Looking good already for compared to the practice scenario. Okay, so now we've got combat chits done. Now I need to check for combined arms bonus. Now I believe these units are not eligible for the combined arms bonus, so that does not happen. And we work out final battle strength, which is, as I said, 45 on, what was it, 8 plus 4, 14, 28, 32, 42, I think. 45 on 42. 14, yeah, right, 42. I am going to throw in an early air unit, because the quicker I can reduce the strength of these Italians, the quicker I can get that numerical advantage. So I'm going to throw in that for a column shift to the right. And that'll be now done for the turn. They are flown. I may as well put them there now before I forget. Dice roll modifier determination. Okay, so attacker, defender, combat, support. There are no defensive combat units supporting this, but I have now got attacking from here. I've got under a prepared assault. I've got +2 for here and +2 for here. So that's a net +4. It's all summarized here actually. So prepared attack by units of the same formation, +2 per hex, one to the left, one to the right, +4. We have headquarter attack support. They have a rating of 6. So I'm now up to 10, +10. Armor superiority. So let's look at my tanks. They have got a 2 and a 2 armor rating. The defenders have got a 1 AT, but because they're in a location, that adds another 1 for a 2 versus 2, a net of 0, so there's no armor superiority. I have the Schwerpunkt counter. I put on them on purpose, so that gives another +2 for a +12, and there was no attempt to retreat. Maximum dice roll modifier is +12, and that is exactly what I've got. So I'm at my maximum dice roll modifier. Now I roll a d10. A 6 is decent, very decent. Plus the 12 is 18. I look down to 18, and I've got a 0, 3. What does that mean? So it's off camera, I apologize. But we're looking down here at 18, 0, 3. Both are underlined. We resolve the defender completely first. First thing they need to do is roll. The red underlined means they must make an efficiency check. Their rating is 7 and 7. So we'll go red on top, black on the bottom. They need 7 or less. Ooh, they have only just narrowly passed that. So they both passed that efficiency check. Now, lucky, because if they failed that, they would have to retreat. Now they've got 3 hits to resolve, and as I said, they want to hold this, so we will go. That unit with 8 strength is now reduced to a 6. That's hard to see, I apologize. And the unit with a 6 is now reduced to a 5. So we've reduced, in one combat, we've reduced their strength to 11. From a 14 down to 11, which is a great start. That's why I brought in that air unit. And that's why I brought in this other without that modifier, it would be a 1-3. So I suffer no losses, but I do need to make an efficiency check. So for my 2 tank units, black on top, they both pass, 2 and 1, which is less than their 5. And my infantry is also a 5, they need 5 or less. They narrowly succeed. So the Italians pass all their efficiency ratings as well. So that's despite their 2 early difficult activations, that's actually a pretty decent start for the Italians. All right. I won the combat, so I get 1 action point to spend. And I can, with this formation, because I won that combat, I caused more losses than they did. And I can boost that with other APs. So I can say, 1, guess what I'm doing? It's another hasty attack. Another hasty attack. The defender can opt to retreat. They're not going to. Attack escalation. It was hasty. Now it's regular. Now it's prepared. I put these back. And I draw 2, shuffle them up. Draw 2 more. 1 for the defender, 1 for the attacker. Ooh, they are only going to be doubled. Oh, but I'm only going to be doubled as well. Okay. So they are doubled to 22. I still have my, what was it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30. So I'm 30 on 22, which is only just 1 to 1. It's not quite 3 to 2. That's okay. I don't have my air unit anymore. Don't have combined arms bonus. Don't have my ground shift. So now dice roll modifier determination. It is going to be pretty much exactly the same as last time. Now I've just double checked the Schwerpunkt marker rule. And the marker doesn't actually go on a unit. It goes on the formation, or technically a formation activation, but I'll put it on the headquarters. And it has more benefits than I realised. I get 1 additional action point when determining APs. So I've missed 2 of their action points. I might, what am I going to do about that? Not much I can do to catch up. There is a -2 dice roll, the whole formation gets a -2 dice roll modifier, not just the unit it's with. It's not actually with a unit. They get an additional action point for battle victory. So I save an action point for that battle victory. I've got 2, which is a hasty, upgrade to a regular, spend 1. Okay, so the modifiers, we're out to modifiers, and pretty much exactly the same. I get +2, so 2 and 2 is 4. Headquarter support is under here, which is up to 10. Schwerpunkt bonus is another +2 for 12. So I've got a +12 modifier to my roll of 8, which is going to be 20, which is another 0-3 result. Defender first. Red on top, efficiency check. They pass. Okay, now they're going to take 3 losses. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. Now they're down to a strength of 8. I need to make efficiency checks with my units, my 2 tank units first, 5 or less. They pass, and my infantry unit, it fails. Okay, so they fail that. That's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Because that's my main attacking unit, that infantry. And if they fail, some units failed, so must perform an EC. Units that fail become disrupted. If some units fail another first, all the disrupted units must make a forced retreat of 1 hex. So my infantry now has to come back 1 hex. The remaining units... oh no, sorry, apologies. That's if there are hits to apply. There are no actual hits to apply. So it's only if there were remaining hits to apply. That's what would happen. So I won the combat again as the Italians. So I get 1 AP bonus, +1 for the Schwerpunkt marker. I'm going to spend the first one of those to try and rally these guys. They need a 3 or less. They fail. I'm going to try again with the second point. They fail. I need to keep doing this because this is an important unit. So I'm going to spend another AP to try again. Yeah, no morale bonus. I thought they may have a morale bonus. I really need that 3 or less. That'll do it. They've now rallied. Okay, but I'm now down to just 2 AP. That said, I think this might be enough to get a decent combat going. So let's try it. I'm going to do a hasty attack. No retreat before combat. I'm going to escalate it to a regular attack. So I don't have enough for that prepared attack now. We will draw some more combat chits, and we have to keep remembering to put them back. Defender, attacker. The defender with 7 tripled. My attacker is only doubled. That's problematic. Okay. No combined arms bonus, no ground shift, dice roll modifier. So now it's a little bit different. Now I've got my... Oh, let's actually work out the strength first. I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 doubled to 30. They have got 8 tripled to 24. So I'm still minefield box 1 to 1. That's unfortunate. Would be nice to be tripled, but anyway, take what we can get. Modifiers are going to be different now because now I only have a regular attack. So I get +1, +1 is 2. I only get half my headquarters, which was 6. So it goes up to 5 in total. Fair pump bonus is still counted, so up to 7. And that's it. So now I have +7 to my roll of 4, which is only 11, which is 2 and 2. Defender first. They are down to 3. And they are down to 3. So now these free French only have a defense of 6 in this hex. I also have to lose 2. So I can lose 1 from my infantry. And I'll lose 1 from my tanks. Losses, all units must take a loss before a unit takes a second loss. All right, now I did not win the combat. It was 2 versus 2. There's no morale checks for this roll, so nobody has to make an efficiency check, and that's the end of the activation. Okay, back to the initiative phase. British get a +2. It's a tie. What happens in the case of a tie? The Axis side wins the initiative in the case of a tie. So the British slide up again. That's interesting. The Axis will always win the initiative in the case of a tie. Look, I'm going to keep going with these Italians. I'm going to burn through their activations while I can. So they're now on 3. 310. 310 is actually 7. So slide that down. They get 7 action points again. And again, you can guess what I'm going to do. Hasty attack. No retreat before combat. I'm going to escalate that to regular. I'll actually get 8 because of the Schwerpunkt. There's a space for it too. So 1, 2, 3. Combat chits. I've got to remember to put them back. We'll draw 1 for the defender, 1 for the attacker. The defender is only doubled. I am tripled. So now I've got, I did take some losses, didn't I? So I'm 13 tripled to 39. 39 on, I think they had 8, right? No, 6. 39 on 12, which is 3 to 1 in a minefield. So I can slide this along to 3 to 1. And now my modifiers, regular attack, are 4, up to 10, and then 11, 12 for Schwerpunkt. So 12 to my roll of 6 is going to be 18, which is no hits for me, 3 for the defender, and an efficiency check. They pass these checks, but they take 3 losses. So they're going to go down to 1, and they'll go down to 2. But they are bruised and battered. I now get 2 bonus AP. I'm going to spend 1 to attack, another 1 to make it regular, and a 3rd from my allocation to make it a prepared attack. The Free French, now they're in trouble. They've been absolutely smashed. But they are soaking up all these Italian AP, so they'll hold, they'll keep holding out. They will draw their counters. A 7-3, they're tripled, and I get a 5-2, only doubled. So what do I have? 13, 26, 26 on 9. Oh, it is 2 to 1. So I'm looking at 2 to 1 odds. Again with that +12 modifier. So 2 to 1, 12 plus 2 is 14. All right, so I actually take a hit. Now let's do the defender first. Efficiency ratings first. They pass, they take 2 hits. So that unit is now wiped out, and they are down to just 1 strength point. I take 1 hit, and I will take it on my infantry. So they're down to 7. But I win the combat, so they're now eliminated. I win the combat again. I get 2 free AP. I'm going to attack. This should be the last one now. Hasty, regular, prepared. I now should absolutely dominate. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on 1. So now looking at 12 to 1. We slide it up to here. Again, plus 12 to 5 is 17. 0, 4, they are wiped out. Okay, so next question is, what happens to headquarters when they find themselves alone in a hex like that? Okay, I just checked, and headquarters are actually removed from play when all their subordinate units are eliminated. So we've seen it with the Free French, so all the headquarters can be removed from play as well. So the Italians have, I mean, this is very different to how it played out. I think getting the extra unit for an extra +2, using the Schwerpunkt marker helps. Yeah. Now with that done, I'm just going to double check everything. I won that battle, so I get 2 actions. I'm going to try and move into that minefield. So let's try and move in. Oh, I'm going to move the whole. Let's move the whole stack in. Why not? Move the whole stack into that minefield. We'll try with the infantry first. They need now a 6, 9 or less. Should be easy. Whew, only just. This is with the modifier from my HQ, so they make it in. And then my 2 tanks, red on top. It's a bit tougher for them. So tank units, 6 minus 3 is 3. The top unit is disrupted and fail. The bottom unit is loses a step loss, so they're down to 2. And they're disrupted as well. And they cannot move into the minefield. But the infantry have moved it in, and we've captured Bir Hakeim, which is 1 victory point there. So, first points to the Axis. I'm going to slide our victory point marker up. 1. Okay, that was, we've still got points left. So that was 1 from my victory benefit. I'm going to spend a second one to try and rally that tank unit on top and succeed. Okay, now I've got 3 AP left. Let's try and rally the other tank unit. I'll spend 1. Success. They are rallied as well. Now, I'm thinking I might try and clear out minefields from Bir Hakeim. So let's spend the last 2 action points to make an attempt at that minefield. So it's going to be -3 for my headquarters and -2 for the Schwerpunkt for -5. That's going to succeed. I'm really good at clearing minefields. Minefield breached. Yeah, I needed a 1 or less. So in effect, I needed a 6 or less. So I had a good chance of doing that anyway with that Schwerpunkt marker. And we're done. The Italians are done. Whew, that is how you do it. That is how you... And they've still got 2 activation levels to go. So, yeah, more to come. Look, folks, that's a pretty big coup for the Axis forces, capturing Bir Hakeim with relatively minimal losses. 2 tank steps and 2 infantry steps, and they've wiped out the Free French. Bearing in mind, when I played through this the first time, the Free French did very well. When I did it the second time, the Free French caused a lot of losses and held out throughout that Ariete activation. I've done it now in 4 activation cycles, bearing in mind the first 2 were atrocious, and I forgot the 2 bonuses, and I forgot the Schwerpunkt bonuses as well because I misplayed that. That won't be happening again. So folks, I will wrap this up here, but there you go. That's set up really good opening drive by the Axis forces. They've captured Bir Hakeim and cleared some of the minefields. They might try and clear this one as well, which will give these panzer divisions just this clear road. As it stands at the moment, they can loop around, but if I activate this Ariete again on the next activation, bearing in mind the British now have a +4 to their initiative roll, then yeah, I think they've got a very good chance of just being able to smash through. They can come down here. There's these minefields as well, but they can come through here and hit straight into the 7th Armoured. Some thinking to be done there, but look, that's a pretty decent opening. Look, as I said, there'll be more to come. I'll be doing some little snapshots and playthroughs, but for now, thanks everyone for watching, and take care.